this is a victory for the people of Ghana.
Here is Ken Ofori Atta. Persecution will take place. He has hired some of the top lawyers in the United States of America, very experienced lawyers, to, defend him.
Iyan sama info nyina kwaba ebiem emra jumadi esia sanso afenase ensem bebre ene koso ewo oman Ghana mu a yede ni nyina ebra ayefo ene wachi no yedi won komana afi ye biebie ensem nim finally His Excellency John Dramani Mahama abande galamsey a ekoso ewo yen forest mu ena afi yensu ho quick one yebede mu komana information bi a wachi bia no yede ni nyina aba where is Ken Ofori Atta no kwasem se enche Ken Ofori Atta baba be piem ewo oman Ghana atoni general de nsem bebre ena toja no achi no enkomo bebre ena freche eba yebeboro nso na afeni edin komo na bibia ay kama baransa na no Kumasi to Accra Express Road.
Yeah.
Now His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ena buying.
Of course.
Ebe to Ghana for him say omo pese omoye Express Road.
Yeah.
From Accra to Kumasi.
Okay.
Eno nanam so ema NPP for no tisi abonten se ai woman tiase move amampani John Dramani Mahama ateki se opeso wo ye sa kwan no ai woman tiase because entosomo eno achi ena Ghana for esosi NPP for any minority so and what and after finally Parliament etimi approve amasia me no kase Kumasi to Accra Express Road no John Dramani Mahama enena ban wo mo baba be ye ede ama Ghana for quick one commander ai yeni kandin komo enfrefro ye mo ne tew because in some no doson
in the first place I was said the bia ye no nafi ye share se ni nko because enem komo no e mu ode pa
ending kano ebebo mampani John Dramani Mahama baso ni ministers ni appointees ebebo mu nyina baso afen so asede toso mienu confirm Parliament say wo matimi approve and afen Ghana fo nyina yami show bia ye bon pa say omudo osebe yo na ekwan no wo matimi ayede ama Ghana fo
right said your kai no eje nya ba bedru enei finally Parliament ama approval say Accra-Kumasi expressway mampeni John Dramani Mahama share ko no afai Parliament ajet ye for kwanema contractor na on chance enkoye adwuma right ye nim say a lot of issues and are surrounding expressway but said your Parliament any abai no ama no aye Abasa Harris making sure say omobe clear bibia abie ansana afoi awu the early 2026 no na ya odo contract na bie na ya share adwuma na se na fe bibia ekokama
amore se bi betu dwa na me ka say John Dramani Mahama ne na ban wo mu di agro because I Kumasi to Accra Road no and omo san eyi express road and no be create nyuma bebre because I Burkina Faso
of course
wo mo fa ne ya anya ya no mo de fa
o me de na ya Integrated the most important thing they say na ye pese un say project na mampeni ye no said ye waka kire say enye say obestop Accra-Kumasi highway no but where ye an alternative way o kreti e de ma o mo firi Kumasi e kwa Accra ene ne mpotemo no rota na ye hwa ni mu say aban ne be ye ne ntem
me de na say na me di kanam kasa agro no mudi
sa
rota na me nim so mo be ye ha sei
Rota dentia wo badwene saa ne Ghana fo badwene saa ne say most of aban ahodo a abetwam no say wo mo kase ye be ye project bia etimi take 2 years odena no aka no 2 years na onko ho nti time wo be ko ho no na ka 1 year pe am na fra konya so okoso ho kakra o se o mu kwan ye de yensa be ka ya na election adru nti na o mo de aye campaign one to amano na olusu a ekwan na ka ho what that is the trend na ye fa menu nti na wo ene Ghana fo mu bi na ma dwem say agro and womudi but enei mampeni John Dramani Mahama approve Ghana for say oka oye say oka say ade we obeya truly obeye
commander say
right me say enei mampeni John Dramani Mahama approve Ghana for say oka oye enti Kumasi Accra Expressway Parliament approve enei ye twen se omo be hyase na omo ye eniem o so mo ye nyina no na fe ekwan no omo hyase etwa na nya wote ho abeti wo behu se yesi surveyor for engineers abakrom ha omo be so yesi kwan ne be fa ha ade be tesu o omo kopiem odun kwa ne oboase mpotem ho e be fa forest we na enamu
na President Mahama nkasa no I'm so person go MPP because MPP Asante region almost stronghold.
Of course.
MPP betna akonwa no so 8 years.
Yeah.
Kumasi to Accra road fia we kra no. Woman timi anye.
Aye wo odada oye ni ye.
Na John Dramani Mahama betna akonwa no so. Osesa akwan na MPP ja ho no. Still na onyai oba beye. But osemba beye express road. Ade ato ama Kumasi ne Ghana fo nyina tamale fo nyina so be fa so bi Burkina fo nyina no
se o hwe Ghana
fa kwa no so bi
se de o kana o hwe Ghana map na region bi a oda Kumasi suru bia no obayi su expressway ni bi from the Ahafo to the Bono East Bono region Eco Northern Savannah North East Upper East ne Upper West any Burkina ne Niger o mo nyina ebe su expressway ni bi na de man komani ya me dene se Mampeni wabra omudi expressway no nkomo no omadi nka kire mu se omudi to besi expressway no so a eno ne bo ne yenko
na se ebesa so generate sika mo man no
rata ebe generate sika omugidie se with number of years bi no to na isu be ti e kadodo a ye be bo no entinye se bia se bi yeye na yesi akobo besi abaye eno ano no ese ye ntimi maintain
na we kwa no ba bia san me deni se ebesa so tenkwanhia so accident bebreba esini because express road we na mana o yeah dey say ka be kwa koshiama accident ama
the right in the best interest of Ghanaians no aside ye create jobs ye easy traffic ye traffic so na ye create jobs no right ye sign save lives because as of November 2025 Ghana for a car ponsia from January to November, over 2,400 Ghanaians, and a Sebi Quebeca said, Omon Kwanam swing, and Yanni a Chicham Quadia, Nemum Aya Quincia, and I do from say Accra Express way no Elba, and Casanam Besubeti because any part of one a Accra-Kumasi highway to and Womuya. The Rata Mampani air train say. Project ya okekatre se obeye no he is on course and adentia mampani ani abre no oka say the writer opese onsi form no na odigana drew a standard bia mampani bia ni ho obeba obetimi de Ghana san kwa kire biem and the writer enei se Ghana ehu such developments na eniema koye economy na gina na developments abu o man ni mu a mampani foforo na utie wu you cannot reverse the country to be a 2025 and yamama peniabaso kakra
quick one Ken Ofori Atta as to say Oba Ghana and as well Maro and some bebre and a sha eba be dinko because Attorney General Akasa but answer because our story in the sono me be say ye dwuma ketwa bi edifia and we screen so as a government revokes LI 2462 Bonds mining in forest reserves. The government has completely revoked the legislative instrument LI 2462, which granted power to the president to authorize mining in forest reserve in the country. But then, last minister adding some baby up to that one semi-achi. You could tell in some because we're so abidable no more day. Na a chasa. Galamsey no e forest mu no John Dramani Mahama wababe twem but answer na yankuti ensemu a lance minister e de tuda iye koba abusia ensemu achi pa
if you see the history Ghana for so many years had protected its forests. We started an experiment where we ventured into giving concessions to large-scale mining, few of them, and then there were guidelines that was required for making sure that we guide all those large-scale companies who had been giving concessions. We created what they call the liaison group, and there were strict guidelines on environmental management in really mining in forest reserve. It led to the creation of what they call the liaison group, and these guidelines worked for us. Well, at some point, there was this argument about legalizing it by passing some regulations, and that led to the LI 2462. And you also saw in the last 8 years what had happened, where so many people had access to our forests. It also led to a lot of the destruction and illegalities, where protected forests were being destroyed. It was in the wake of that the NDC, led by President Mahama, assumed office in 2025. And so that debate was very heated. Initially, the thought was that if the president's power, which was really to allow forests, mining forests is taken away, and the president was clear that he's giving out his power to allow people to mine. And so there was an initial amendment. It was really very clear that the people of Ghana wanted a complete ban. And I think I am very happy that because of his leadership, because of his commitment to protecting our forests and our environment, he directed us to ensure that this happens. And it is not because we do not want to also do mining as has been done, but we believe that ultimately protecting what keeps us alive. You know, we take 80% of our water sources are all in the forest. And that is why the forest is very critical. And so I think the message is very clear. That amendment then led to the LI 2501. Well, a bold decision was made by this government that yes, it's not capitulating to public demand, but it's simply agreeing with the people of Ghana that the forest is sacrosanct and we want to protect it. And so this is a victory for the people of Ghana. It is also a victory for leadership that listens, as a victory for a leadership that understands the mandate of the people of Ghana, that we must reset this country, and that means protecting our forest strictly. And so it's a very important victory. The repeal of 2462 is very, very important. We hope that we don't stop there, that we are very aggressive in protecting and stopping everybody. This year, just a few days ago, we were looking at how and when we started, when some of the forests were red zones that had been taken over, we couldn't enter. We thank God that by the end of this year, we have basically claimed all these forests. We still have a long way to go because on a daily basis, people are making incursions. We need to continue working closely with the Forestry Commission, with the Anti-Illegal Mining Secretariat, and all the security agencies to protect our forests, turn it green, and protect our waters and turn it blue. This is our task. But this victory must be celebrated, and it's in the right direction.
Yeah. Finally, John Dramani Mahama and an abine. Okay. It is said no untiminko a forest and conquer galamsey. Quick one in room.
Erota unimbibi. Dabi. In the first place, Mampani John Dramani Mahama said it Mekano. He is building a legacy. One shot or qua. It will take us 100 years. Yeah. And nay, constitution not a maquine say. Mampani betimi ama kwan ama in your forest reserve ya ma obi license ama na kwakwa ko do a good year ewum
akufo na yes adwuma no
ona ye
na no ko akufo no ene di sa adwuma no because na allege she ai wono anka se wo tu galamsey wo tu galani bi nti the old president yes wo tu bi Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ai allege say by so wono so tu bi because na don funu chama wo tu bi
of course
to don funu chama wo tu bi na chama wo tu mi atu na wo a day onya $1 million now your vice president masa obetina wo
ereta
unsu betu bi tino munya so fa so
ti omo na omo gitum ema ye hihye mra we say mampani wo power obetima ma kwan say yenkoto agudi of forest reserve
ena obi kan say no credit da wa ne aka
okay
e say no my ayi no gold no ya sase pese so no kakra bi ne hye
okay
but gold no do na e forest im
eni nsuo
nti no mani abre sa forest ni mu no
okay the right forest ni so okra ni nyame ni who say a forest reserve. The reserve to for so many years. Enti enyini ama agudie no adori wom. Enti na ye politicians na kono say the agudie na nyini of forest because forest bi ho a it has taken 500 years, 1000 years ye nwura mu ntu bibia wom. Enti sa forest no agudie ne dos wom. Nti eyoma kono say we should find a way ye betimi awura forest nim na ye kwakọ make enough money for ourselves and our future generations. That is the plan. But no kwani nyame nim nie. And President John Dramani Mahama kire Ghana for say he is the main man to fight against mining and I say illegal mining. And afei said the extraction of forest and water bodies. The writer ye ntimi fa yen san we achi. Na da bia asoma soldier for say omunko wura munko chasing crofo ye dwia na forest ya reservoir to ho no eno nso ye de man crofo say omunko to gold na ne basa sabi de ne ye no de ne aye no right basa agro na ye di no sabi e ya agobone obi say kotuna memfa ba nwoto enya ago papa ne basa sa agro no ene ye politicians no omni ye di enti enei mampani kire ye say oni ye ni sa agro no enti emra eyemra nipa na hye this is the right time yen tumra nintumu na yen shemra foforo mampani John Dramani Mahama as time goes on minim say with the help of constitution review committee no eniema oye nyina no eniema be benefit the ordinary Ghanaians
so I last minister Kasan so kan also Ghana for say no I the Ghana for be kan mo ye o ma ya de Ghana for pe
what to share ya previous government no not they care about the political class.
Oh yeah.
But a nay abayna wabano or care about the lower class. Ghana for na away from the ordinary Ghanaians. A one man paying attention. And true be told, political class in the motor woman dada. But yena ye work for ma ye did ye more ding. Baby a better ding. Ya pomo ding ya papano. Yena was a bang any man penny junior. And it's a man penny junior. Not a nay. Emra emwaye emra say environment no mampani ajatum wotumre na gua he is a listening president and enyina ye tanachi minim se saade waye no kwayem abosom enua enhoma ni nso ahode wo kwaye nim no omunyina beta mampani achi waye ade
commander everywhere na enkotie nsem a attorney general e de atodwa na attorney general di nkoma cheche semu afa Ken Ofori Atta nsem ho afeso watesi abutrika. There is
a sense that persecution will take place rather than prosecution. That a person will not be treated fairly if extradited is most likely, extradition will not take place. If you cannot show by your extradition packet, that is the request that you have sent to the US, that the one that I have sent to the US, there is sufficient evidence, okay, to come to a conclusion, a reasonable conclusion that a crime has been committed, even though you still have the burden to prove that crime beyond reasonable doubt, right? Extradition may not be granted. So the basic point I want to make is that, yes, the principle of reciprocity applies, okay? And I would have been very happy to hand over Abutrika as I have done, okay? And then get Ofori Atta quickly in return, all right? But usually, the extradition proceedings take place in a court of competent jurisdiction. In our case, that is the district court, all right? In the US, it will also be the federal district court. Now, mind you, the person who is the subject matter of extradition will fight it in court. Okay, so the American authorities won't just take my request and say, here you are, here is Ken Ofori Atta, and then here is, his other accomplished, and you take them, and then they can face trial. It will have to go through court proceedings in the US, all right? And I just got to know, that he has hired some of the top, yesterday, I got to know that he has hired some of the top lawyers in the United States of America, very experienced lawyers to, defend him. Now, I'm not afraid at all right? I am not afraid at all. But it means that there's going to be a fight in the federal courts in the U.S. If the district court says no, he will go to the circuit court, all right? If the circuit court says no, he's entitled to go to the U.S. Supreme Court to fight his case. So I cannot tell you that he will come tomorrow or he will come the next day, okay? And I'm just being honest. Accounting to the people means being explicit and truthful. So this is what, we are faced with. But on behalf of the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we have taken the requisite steps to bring him to Ghana to face trial. And if I were him, this is his home. He should just join the next flight and come here. Under my watch, he will not be treated unfairly. He will go through due process and be prosecuted just like any other person, just like Kobina Edubohi or Hanan or any of the persons that I have filed charges against. Now,
Attorney General,
sure,
didn't come up.
Of course,
Ken Ofori Atta.
Yeah,
but then yes, Ken Ofori Atta kwa follow yes kukudam. US. Ken Ofori Atta na what dibo ya allege say what dibo ni o man Ghana.
Yeah,
we o man no.
Of course.
Ama o man no kwa ho kyerem no. Ono na nyanwa kwa follow yes wo US wo.
Onim. Nse shaase no. Na MPP fo no so no say oyare. Ene wo kwhwe no ho yade na NDC fo tata no. Ohun ba bi aduru. Na
wan kasa wo man a ofiri mu. Bremu a oso ntimi ma nya krono no abo.
Why dey?
So abo krono. Because mo krono bi anka beba.
Say asem ni nyina no no. Onimboni e wadi wo fie.
Asa.
Ebeta wa bo krono wo fie nti ontimi nkona chi biem. Nti enei Ken Ofori Atta waye okuboni ene osansani wo bi ma so.
Yeah.
Ontimi nkona chi biem. Ebeta nkoma Attorney General AD. We should be fair enough to both parties. Attorney General no me was side here me ne nshara nya adwe, but we should also be fair to Attorney General. Na yenye fair as Ghanaians to ourselves. But Ken Ofori Atta bon posafahene say oyare. Amanfo bi so so ne so say oyare na ye twe no na OSP ne Attorney General no Ken Ofori Atta ria okohwe no ho yade okoye surgery ne yiri ankasa release statement enei Ken Ofori Atta yere no ene na busuafo no ade no mo first statement emma emiyente wo mo nka bim
jeje so apelo yesu
Director inti wakọ high lawyers US ena oba be battle aha ena ya wo ma no the pressure to Attorney General no me ne wo mo nya adwe because me nim say everything I hear about legal bia no I just asem ne court enti enei Ken Ofori Atta issue but every right say the Attorney General can asem no o me the court na your friend no the lawyers be defended na odifo a was secure bone bana or opportunity say or the best sign another court to be or the court a whole side for Ken Ofori Atta can still insist to say asem no outside the Supreme Court to US into check different courts a obetim dia ko enduru se obekọ se process we mu nyina ni nyina bi obedifo a afere ye say ni nyina udifo ye di ukọ okrom no na di how many months and how many years
say no Attorney General say ayi na manfo kasa nka yemfa abutrika because abutrika de no ma se Ghana fo di nkomo
of course
say US fo no na soma wo mo ya ma Ghana fo yokofo akwa kochi abutrika dia na na yenso so yentimi nsoma na nka US fo nso mfa tiuri yanke anse na be hande abutrika amo no wo mo nso mfa Ken Ofori Atta mra
se sansem no na nkofo kapa enti it was very funny. Time I'm for cake kano. Me say na very funny at the moment because in common ed they because Russia nipa bebre pabutrika asem. They feel like or a very good person. Nti mu say obi kura from Swedro edi message bi koma blogger bi blogger dey sa story ni say pabutrika ukopie mo Swedro ba election we kura no mama for sika say oh eniema mo de mamu nti mun change aban no nti na akoba say woni aban we ni na ni ye but brother from baby Attorney General anything abutrika yinipa Ken Ofori Atta yinipa eni ese Ken Ofori Atta dibone abutrika so yes for so no so dibone now e ya abutrika nu mom epem ne right and also o defending who say me ni bone na Ken Ofori Atta so defending who say me ni bone say yes swap wo mo na at the end of the day say ba ku timi defending who say o ni bone a obeda swap wo mo ebia enei Ken Ofori Atta betima defending who say o ni bone Ken Ofori Atta nyintum say wadi bone abutrika so nyintum enti is up to abutrika ne lawyers any US for no
na we no kra no abutrika issue no almost FBI for na die chebe from 10 years ni
2020
enye say NDC ba ya no ma di achi aba ba chi no wo ma di achi ache te say de enso kan Ofori Atta de ye di achi ya sa na yeso mo so ma di achi ache afa no mo nsa so no
mo nti ba fa so hwa nipa o ma di na chi from 2015 na o mo nsa ba kan in 2025 no you cannot tell them say o many enough evidence ya o mo de be fa no e be free krom hako because so hwa seka en de Ghana for kan sa na te a anko mo ba ye no nkenu ane so omo abekwa akọchiri wo mo dem na omo de nakọ but because emra ye adwuma nti omo de omo nkrata ebre yokofo ema yokofo nso hwehwe hu se ampa de mu ken eye nokre nti abutreka ye chi no hu video bia na circulate ye misa ne transaction ye se adwuma be na wo ye abutreka tena ho defe o se transaction no what transaction but these are certain things ye Ghana for
but one thing so mo manimre go abrofu no bi so si abrofu no ma wiaye pa o yes abrofu ya ba be wiaye ye say abrofu si say enkoasom o mo de nananom ko mu ye ngodo mba be wiaye nti na abutrika jiska ni nyina ba Ghana
director winim de ya ne say abutrika jiska no abrofu no so o je Ghana fo bi sika
ani ye nkotie we mra ye nko attorney general ense o say abrofu no so o ma je Ghana sika no NDC betna kunwana so omo ya bre do ajiska no mufa abuso de entimra
EOCO successfully use our local laws to freeze and recover virtual assets hidden in foreign jurisdictions. As a result, on November 19, 2025, Zodiac Custody successfully converted the said crypto assets of the criminal enterprise and paid same to EOCO's exhibit account in the amount of 15,191,730 United States of American dollars and 13 cents. As demonstrated above, the criminal enterprise targeted our citizens, defrauded them, and laundered the criminal proceeds into cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin, USDT, and Ethereum in an attempt to further hide the proceeds from the reach of Ghana's law enforcement. With this recovery, millions of funds which were looted out of the country have been successfully returned to our motherland.
And sir, you should not discard me. Now, Rofonum so muye.
The right of Muya crack chain. The Yaya say ye guys, no, yes, come and Jessica, yeah, what is on. I brought you, we are those two.
Oh, sir, over to us, be the cryptocurrency. One, I'm saying, that's idea when a legit dear. Media mean just online marketing. Dear friend, online marketing.
Be online shop. Shop online, I want to make a shop. Now, shop will cry, what can and what circle?
But Ebusia man for more.
But these are circumstances, just said, the risk involved is very high. Yeah. Right, a gun of war, almost tight of butricket, almost 4 night, and share a young war. Any corporation from Ghana, online investment. Sana a yabrofuna effort woman, abrofuna just as Ghana sweat. It's about to $8 million. Or no quality a question of them, or the farm mad talkers. But Ghana ni ababa will be suffer from. A brand is suffer from. Or investment. Now, Bob when the Sikano. Another fraud or also two different countries. Or also fraud was Ghana. That is the also the farm mad or Europe. Asia, the Americans, and no, Sabi, ye Tracy, Yakapo Jesus Gano, according to investigations, or be our report to be our evidence said, as some see as coming at Zika, online. The government will find a way, or bet you, Missika, the young baby as a kind of not a buying. Afasescano, and to say a gigano for your yomo, yeah, just a Canada $15 million. Now, what you can talk will be $8 million. He must go and pay the $8 million. Okay. Now, you're for Sicano, I am for Madame Rome. Okay. Just some pastors.
Quick one, Yama Big James from Ramoy. Now, also a Mekaka and so. Yes, a big J. I begin about Cordier. What a quick one, young man, 7 and Semper Brina, a Kosovaran. Minim so many comfort for baby a commander area, Ken Ofori Atta. As to so baba and answer on mano, a quack buachibidi. Now I say, at this a lawyer, I can Ofori Atta quack of fano. As I know, to the baron, Attorney General saw the name of a quick one in well.
tina mama menche hwefo I was so ahead wa follow
lawyers
ah o dey
so the defending no money bia
for let akura wa che wo ho baby owo no US on wa che say me say munga kira Mahama say omo ma me kwan
say
me ama kokofa omo ngi vista mame me ama kokofa ken for let abagana munga kira president Mahama say omo ngi vista mame na mo ma me kwan na me nko ma ama kokoche for let ken for let adia ba kromfo so yes so no so
commander emfancy
ene na wo mfancy
na Mahama nye visa na I OSP kwantimi nche ne mai
oh me na dey
I attorney general kwantimi nche ne mai
omo no omo de omo fan me law me so dey law me kwaya na ma yire wo na ma so mu na me de mo to ko na
ah kromo men law ba o de wo ko fana ba
because kromfo so dey no wan kromfo ya krokro ko obi a ya kromfo ya krokro
na wana zikiro furi ata abokro
na dey chi no wadwa
so
sikani modu oni se oba ye de batum oya bana omla so o gidi se o wiya sika omla the cinema ya ti se wutai na de che se Mahama se bra Ghana sika wodi wo so le anya o so le se Mahama maba kire kwan ya o se madiska na wo ni Mahama na Mahama kire o se okay cinema me ma fon se koton na se Mahama da be na ade fon ma me sim koto ken for ya da ya se wo wiya Ghana sika bra be wa no bra ha wo se memma enti wo ya kronfo enti Mr. President for the Mahama enti mo nga kire Mahama se me se je fish sama ba ko fucking simple mo je ma ade tin ya na nyumbla me de ken for me de na baba kan ha se na de enti na so sam hunu sa atai su so atai su obi ayo kronfo ya na ken no for let also che Ghana mlana david identity ya chen sa abi ni say o say baby a ko matam ni panaba
so we no so the family kwan so enye so ofutin ya no wo ba o
da odi sika no o family kwan so odi
eni asem
odi Ghana sika no you say ken for let time you say mra wo ai odi sika na people for there minim SND for the omo jaja omo de omo diabro ken for let no say wa na ambulance na ko fano ambulance na ko fana
enye so far the be fa flight to also family kwan so
na ya dia fa mrabe wodi Ghana sika wodi no ne wa hunya ka se mra wo ni asiso ne ma so na ne ma se sika we kra na Mahama betima de ayade pa wo Ghana sika ken folada adiya no obakomko na $97 million awo mo di 2 swimming pool obakomko na abrosa anti sika we betima ye niema Mahama wo vision show de anti simple mun ko fano ai US man penyo no so o koya o chiri kro no o ka se wa bokura na anu ase wada na ya marking folate and number bi ka kokura baby watui kasane mama mlache ne a mlache ne mokro na kokura so bokro
okay I Kumasi to Accra express road no Parliament approve I say no ye ba be ye quick one in nwemo e
ma yawu
say
yawu
are
se Mahama ye kwawe ya MPP yawu se Mahama timi ye kwawe ya se na ma yawu hu MPP bi
abi say
Mahama timi ye kwawe ya
MPP are
yawu hu MPP bi ko MPP akondem se kwawe Mahama yawu ya me say anu na ye be MPP o Ghana ye nya no na what be ye say esmen Accra-Kumasi express na wa ye kwawe na wa sa ye de o mo betena 8 years no ala mo so mo ya wa sa ye sa kwan ni na ria ayi anu no uti ana ye kwale Mahama tetam Ghana for na Ghana for nkasa fra Mahama kasa onya ka o mo de be siso enti Mahama de o ye kwawe me say anima bebre wo ha ya mi nya didie wo papa no me nya hekran Kumasi ba o de 4 years ni ye and we sakwawe 4 years na ada hono obetima ri aye etim wo gidi o papa mi so obetima o yes so anything and do for mo system kuku na mungu party na o nyina mechanics for na Ghana nye ba ko nye saria campaign na de koya kotia Mahama wotima gina so aye kwanwe campaign se Ghana mbaburu ni ate ya fofo ani ko internet so ni agogo When the President Mahama, okay, about what do you pay the over Mamma Puntu? You pay the over Ghana card so for sure chain. Road. She said road where Mahama is.
I want to cancel.
Now the Bob catches a Ghana card tank. I chain road.
And no, none of the Bruno.
None is to buy.
One shut up.
Papa now when you do say, who's all out to her say, I had the Yansa the Wobu on mine. No man, I will Ghana card, what you had your car for Ghana Castle. And the President Mahama, your coy are now, but now over classic. So a prema penny. Why never Ghana card first so. Na fa ka ne fa so se ona ma oye campaign ona Ghana card ati President Mahama mi wo gidi se obetimi aye oye so so a ebe na papa oye 4 years na kwotena ho kwotena hia ne se opese oja enkaya du ade ato ma ono ne na buhwiafo ne Ghana fo se Ghana fo banya enkaya and oye serious awo ni nima oye ho nti wo ka se be ye wa obesa no yese ye kwasate kasa sa me ya se expert a omboyi ka ebe chance na ko parliament na parliament ajetu eso wo se akọ parliament fast
say no and this wo tute tie ko ya no mo dia tu
ya ne ma mpene kura na o mo mfa mo ho nti ebe eno kura be sabo Mahama na dwuma na ko fast nti no onyiro no se Kumasi o mana ni nko Kumasi esanye Kumasi akwan ketenkete no awo Kumasi town road no oye we ya me se Kumasi ni bia no be kai President NDC abaya to abamo 2028 amamo
na ai esenso ya bande galamsey aye no anase mine na ye no e wo forest team ti na no chama utu bowra forest mi ko tu ai gold no ise ya bande ni nyina mama ba wa be bande ni nyina akufo na de ba mama ba be bande
wa kati so wa yefi ho ene se chama utu mi nya bintu
pa
na chama utu mi onya bi e Mahama de papa nyamishira wate Ghana for yanto aba ma nka yesai ka ya haya ho God follows na chama minim say ye de ya MPP 2028 na mbaba no watwa yase wa start e market follows na no Mahama se watwam na ene watwam ene Mahama fa mra pa so pa fatato fa mra kundi se wa wura follows no ya je wa yentwa utimfrisu na mo ai anuan watwam policy ni de Ghana at itsew ye nindua na ye de bobo ye danso policy galamsey ya seno enema bebre wo policy ma na nka bo o man ho ban sew ko fence no sew ko policy wonya nkusie bi o ko policy wonya wo twen bi na nka kuro no ko na ntwen ne mo ni nyina budana ko policy and e bi no enti Mahama say no policy ya chewa yentwa otia wa mi wa ye ba che policy yentwa ontifra anu wa bane obi atwi timi ye foku president a wo shebo se galamsey obe katasu wa katasu galamsey wa katasu se policy no backbone ura ha ya mu anu president Mahama anu aduma na wa ye no je oba ye na 11 months e ko 12 months wotime ye sa aduma na yankopon anhira anu de wo ba ya wantumi na president Mahama ba ya wo ba ye
okay
ai papa ba ko na nko de na bushafo nyina ko bi forest nanado se na bushafo nyina na net to forest
na abigi ansa na ye be ko no what say Alexander Kennedy kan bo mo ke kan sem bebre se ai o mo se adwo asafo so mo se akufo ado afa ma ache no akufo ade nada ba omia ne nada napoli nada Jasa nkofo Sejon awu woni nada
na ba unya de ama
se na bo mi kase ba umia ne nada no second one no ko bi nkofo bebre na Joseph ada ade na yero wo se batanya no kure
aye de na yero ho
se o
Joseph ko jina ha o yese ni kuni kan Japan mamuntu aba mana onti asia na se se ni kunu ne ba unya
ja
o ko je wati je okan o se people vote ba unya amakan Japan ba ye president o no kura obayina ma and o mun ko to aba no mabonya ntini mpana ne bonya o force say bonya ma president so Joseph onya se o no supervise you Joseph ombla bante maka chemsa me boa bonya promise say oba man vice oba winner onya na oba MPP running me vice and they no wona ni aje and bonya di anya nwa na so dia enye monwa oma maka dia enye monwa adwasafo na nkade ntie ye be ne ye pa adwasafo se omra ne yenye MPM4 ayi ya kan say I no table chiro no mbodi plane ko fa
anu na think say you
levy me boy I wouldn't get it because no me na wi no omu wi no omu biem na nka president na do afro se bra ne ye yi levy aka wo se memma no wa di down onya ho edi kan Japan wo ajawasafu wo nya ho di kan Japan atin hwe de wo ko kire ya to ababa ho se MP kotena wo kuro so he wo kuro ba kotena US the US for yen said the wo ajawasafu ye nka obanya kwan kotena and the omunyina omanwe no ajawasafu ntimi nsa chi se omunwe no opa ombla bontene
ne fam ho be
o wawe no omanwe no
anam chi fam ho be
na sa wo ya we say ya oba da wo yefufu say dia ne ya yefufu say ya wo adwene na anya aduma me de meka o wa ofu sabitia no nti me say ahwefo wa adwasafo nama mo fa mame
abigi
sinema
o wadi sinema ibo na de ko fe
wo ko joma na twinama ko obi abeko
okay me die ntina pa adwasafo nama
se obi awuram me ada me wuram anya
wo yere
mare
ati yamfa na nama
na do akukura we adwasafo me abrantie mare ofo enti me mawuram adwasafo ofo tu na wo MP for na biwa sentana kan Japan reject no ana aja kan Japan reject no mo fra na man wa oni madwasa me se fa na man mame me so mayo
eno grow da commander o number usu nya on pala so grade on ware yo
me adadwasa fo bia na na do ya se na
do wa ware
teti amafo se na na
ana me cheso wa ware
na adwasafo no
juri amfama commander
na no anwane no we adwasafo
se ina ka bo
na te wa wale
le ni je nya ka o le number no ba me no ba primu
tirama yo ja
me se sarefo nim no mo de number no yeso me no ba primu
ole me ma primu se me na me dinka abusai
ba so me sumi na me your boss yo so me na me dikai ma me nikai dabi musu be se me dikai
dabi ayesa o ya yo
dabi
wa ayesa
ma me nikai
ayesa me ka se woni plebe ko me na ma busadi
nka ma me dikai a
dabi o me na ma busadi
sabtie
boss na nkasa no wasa duane boss ye sheda ya odi special
dabi se wo se na dia
me ko ba o nya na makache se
o de ye sa
What's oh yeah dia na makase se ohoko na hode
ba wo de se da minimu de ahwe abekwa ko
ada
Obe se ona bu Kennedy
David ada na se kan Japan
ada de kan semo
David kan Japan anya nipa ni yetimi nkuma nkan kan Japan na adwasa fuma no kranko mo
MPP4 moa na mode ma asema bo ni e ka bie ntie de
ayete ye ready na mo
na mode mu na mo ho apaso de e ka bie
anya hapra ni anya gwa na mo kun na o ko plan me your MPP platform bi ho o kwa o bebre every person adwasa for so umra
za
mi donyame
ena ai for no MPP4 mpanimfo na ma hu se mu ofo na mbekwa akopɛ bia we no mesrɛ mu nyai
ne ahwe kwa na wasa akɔta
se obu ha wonim se ade na efo saa
na andi
ndia o makeka za ade efu no okotra ahwe
ene obu amboyo asema
eze de onani ate onfamo bi se no kra ade no kwanya no kra
wo se nya
no kra o mu twantro
me se
wo mu twantro to ajo asafo so
assembly anyini
ana me chose wo mu twantro to maame no so
assembly
asa e wo ajo asafo apostle kwajo asafo ba ya bi
na yesu kwa yesu mba pastor wa papa na wa onio ne ba papa na ngaza kwa na ase ne ba na yesu kwa ase na ajo asafo ba manaren yesu a wa bo asase nyina no sane a ajo asafo mu se yesu ba manaren meti sasam na ye 2023
ta
yes
na te say
meti sen na na do awe no ba unya awe no penufo bebre awe no
tusu ko pare
na wo be adia fu de yemi we kasati kan Japan wo ntia kan Japan reject no na be de aduane nipa de ya de mankram aduane nipa de ya de mankram
abebon mentiase bato de yemfansi min ebia me kase kirase a wa na aya didi atemtu yemfansi abusua de masi yakọ ebesa ba biem yakra mu nyina